Shalom, shalom, family. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Kakadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahawashi to the world, ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who've been ruling well through the Spirit, teaching the Most High's doctrine, 100% of it. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put in their spirit to endure and to be sincere. Mighty Shalom for the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put it in their hearts to be sincere and to endure. Shalom to the Akwathiam that are married and single in the Most High's ministry and are believers of His word. Lord willing, you can continue to stay in your lot, pursuing to be a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on my other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. I got inspired to go to John chapter 1 after hearing Apostle Gabar go into their lesson. They had brought up John chapter 1, and I started thinking it's very important to understand Yahawashi. It's very important to know this word that we're teaching is Yahawashi. So this is just me praising and exalting Yahawashi for His role. So the whole point is John chapter 1. I'm not going in the whole thing. I'm just going in the beginning part. So Lord willing, this is edifying for the beginning sheep that come in this thing. First, I'm starting at Colossians chapter 1. The point is really 15. The point is really 15 to get into Yahawashi being the firstborn to usher in what I want to talk about in First John. So let's just make it quick. Colossians chapter 1, verse 13. Who have delivered us from the power of darkness, sin of this world, and have translated us into the kingdom of His dear Son, Hamashiach Yahawashi, in whom we have redemption through His blood, even forgiveness of sins. Right? Through Yahawashi's blood, we have redemption. Not an ox, not a sheep. Who is the image of the visible God, the firstborn of every creature. Yahawashi is the firstborn. That's why when we look at what is it called, the first fruit, Yahawashi is the first fruit of the first fruit, but the elect on this side is the first fruit. When you look at Exodus the 13th chapter, the Lord tells Moses, the firstborn. Actually, let me just read this on the side part. Right, Exodus, I believe, chapter 13. This is Exodus chapter 13, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify, purify unto me all the firstborn whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast. It is mine. Yahawashi got cleansed after being Solomon, because he was Adam, he was Melchizedek, he was the angel that came to Abraham, saying within a span of 10 months, I will see you again. And that angel, that majestic angel, was Yahawashi, and it was Isaac. Yahawashi was Isaac, then he was Solomon, and then he came in the flesh. In the flesh, Yahawashi himself didn't commit any sin, right? But what it said, being purified through whatever he did as Solomon, he was purified coming in the flesh as himself, right? And he's the firstborn, what we see in Colossians 1 and 15, the firstborn of every creature. He was the first spirit created. It was Yahweh, and then the Lord, being, the Ancient of Days, He created Yahawashi. That's why Yahawashi is the Alpha and Omega, meaning beginning and end, right? He's the beginning of creation and He's the end of creation. Don't the Lord says He's the author of our faith and the finisher of our faith. He's the Alpha of our faith and the Omega of our faith, because He's the beginning in the end. Yahawashi is the starting of the faith and the end of the faith, the beginning of the ministry, the end of the ministry, right? For by him for by him were all things created that are in heaven, which is the angels and the things that the Lord have pleasure in, and that are in the earth, in creatures is humans and animals, visible and invisible. He made in the heavens and in the earth, like air, the oxygen that you breathe. It says whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. Daniel 2:21. The Lord set up kings and removed kings. So Yahawashi is the one that created the thrones that the kings sit on, but he created the thrones for Yahweh himself, where the angels, where their part is, in the elect men, which we go to Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, verse 18 and 19, to show you when the Lord created everything, when Yahawashi created everything, we obeyed the Lord before he put us under the sun, right? And Yahawashi created the dominions, which he's going to take when he comes back, the principalities, which is the powers that be in high places we can't see and high places we can see, or powers, right? Which is the angels on the left side and the right side, really the right side and the left side. And all things were created by him, for him. All things was made for Yahawashi pleasure, because he's the firstborn. The firstborn get the inheritance, damn near, of all his father's possessions, right? And the firstborn of the elect, we get the portion under Yahawashi. We get the glory like Yahawashi. You know, we get the resurrection as Yahawashi, and we're the first fruits of getting that glorified body, to getting that power, and the first fruits of getting our wives and getting the lot that the Lord is going to give you. Verse 17, it says, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. And he is the head of the body, which is the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, which is the resurrection, because he rose the third day. He's the first one, that in all things he might have the preeminence, right? All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, right there and then, showing Yahweh's position. So let's get into some of the verses in First John. This is First John, because it says the deity of Yahawashi Hamashiach, right? So St. John chapter 1, verse 1, and you see it's referencing Genesis 1, verse 1, all the way to Genesis 2, verse 3, right? And you see it. In the beginning, God, which is power, Elohim, which is really Yahawashi in the powers, because Yahawashi is not the only power. The Israelites is a power, and they're angels too, right? In righteousness, and you have angels on the left-hand side. So in the beginning, the powers created the heavens and the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, right? The Spirit of God, that Rakak Wadash. And the power said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that it was saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. Now, this is not really, when you break it down in a deeper aspect, the light is the truth, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and the darkness is the void away from the Lord. The Yahawashi is already dividing the light from darkness. That's why when brothers bring in good and evil is in the hands of the Lord, because he controls it, right? And we see that God, the powers be, God divided the light from darkness, and God called the light day, and it gets deeper. Because yes, we'll look at the light as being righteousness and darkness as in unrighteousness. And God called the light day, and darkness he called night. Because in aspects, light and darkness, day and night, hand in hand in many different ways. This is how you know the Most High is so eloquent in his words. And it says, in the evening, the morning were the first day. And the Most High said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, which is really a heaven, a glass heaven, and divided the waters which were under the firmament. And this is all Yahawashi and the powers that be. It's always an order. So Yahawashi is the abundance of the power. First Corinthians chapter 1, verse 21, Yahawashi is the power and the wisdom of the Lord. And when we're abiding with the Lord, that's why Yahawashi said greater things. We would do greater things than what he did on the earth. So imagine the powers that the Lord allowed us to do before we came down here, right? Because let me go read this. This is Second Ezra's chapter 9, verse 18. It says, and when I wanted to prepare the world before it was made, that they might dwell therein, no one contradict me. For at that time, everyone was obedient, right? So this is before the foundation of the world was created. But now, in this created world, and in the contentious harvest, and in the inscrutable law, are their morals corrupted, right? When the Lord brought us down into the earth, we started to turn our back away from him. Really, the children that are the power, the children that are the firstborn, right? Which technically is the children of Israel, that is the firstborn. But even coming down here is going to be a chosen within the chosen. So the firstborn out of the chosen nation of Israel is the elect, and the elect is symbolic to Yahawashi as the 12 tribes. The elect on this side is symbolic to Yahawashi when it comes to like the 144,000. They're moving without no guile, like their big brother, like their power, and our Father through the Spirit, Yahawashi, right? So now you got that verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, right? So the Word was a power, right? When we go to going to Psalms 82, verse 6 and 7, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the prince. Yahushua is a god, but he died just like one of the prince. You know, everybody has the same beginning and end, right? But of course, later on, when he rose up, he got beamed up, he got translated, right? So Yahweh is just like us. He is a God. He's under Yahweh, right? And then you can go deeper into the homology of the words, right? So I got to go to another one, which is Wisdom of Solomon, verse 9 and 9, because it said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So I'm just showing that even Yahweh has different names too. Where am I going? Oh yeah, am I going to Wisdom Solomon 90? Not 96. Which one was it? Maybe it's 6 and 9. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 9. I'll start at 8. It says, thou hast commanded me to build a temple upon thy holy mount, and the altar in the city wherein thou dwellest, in a resemblance of the holy tabernacle which thou hast prepared from the beginning. Right? And what is that tabernacle from the beginning? The tabernacle he made for the Father. Right? That's why everything that we do is symbolic to what's in the heavens. Verse 9, it says, "In wisdom was with thee, which knoweth thy works, and was present when thou madest the world, and knew what was acceptable in thy sight, right in thy commandment." Yahawashi is the one that created the world on behalf of Yahweh. So really, Yahawashi is doing what the Lord requires. Everything Yahawashi did is what the Lord wants. So really, it was Yahweh that made everything, because he created Yahawashi to make everything on his behalf. Yahawashi knows the menu. He gets the recipe. Only thing he don't know is when he's going to return. But the Lord gave him the thought process of what he wants, what he likes, and how he likes it. Let's just get that. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 21. It says, "For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew him not." Wait, no, Salaki, verse 24. So I'm sorry, y'all. Verse 24, it says, "But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, Hamashiach, the power of God and the wisdom of God." So Yahawashi had the power to be able to create these things, right? Even the powers that be with Yahawashi, Gabriel, Raphael, the angels, and the angels of Israel. You know, we had some type of power to help Yahawashi build what the Lord loves. You have to believe the children of Israel, who is a power, help Yahawashi make the foundation, because look at us in the flesh. Every ruler got you, and you built Egypt. You built America. You helped build all these other empires too. You know, you are a builder, let alone we prophesy, where we have ministering spirits on ourselves. The angels up in heaven, they minister unto us, the left hand side and the right hand side. It's either they're going to persuade you to lie and prophesy you to murder somebody, or prophesy life into somebody, right? We're doing the same thing that the angels are doing up there. So you best believe, if they help Yahawashi build the foundation, and we build Egypt and help build America and other places, you best believe we helped Yahawashi build these foundations. That's why, if you could really see, you can see Yahweh in you, right? You can see Yahawashi in you, right? So Colossians 1 and 17, that was really showing you the point. Let's go to First John chapter 1, verse 1. I'm trying to just stay in one area on the computer, because it be moving so slow, and it's faster if I just go in the scriptures and physically do it myself. You just got to pay attention and hear me bring it out. But I'll try my best to post them on the screen too. This is First John chapter 1, verse 1. "That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled, of the word of life." Right? St. John 14, verse 6. Yahawashi is the truth. He's the way, and he is life. So every way which was showing how we supposed to live to please the Lord, that was Yahawashi, because Yahawashi created the way to please the Lord. He is the truth, which we're supposed to believe in and walk, and he is life. Really, when you're living off book, chapter, verse, the whole volume of the Bible, and really trying to live it to the best of your ability, that is life. You know, when you're living the actual word. And Yahawashi was, which was from the beginning. In the NLT, "We proclaim to you the one who exists from the beginning, whom we have heard and seen. We saw him with our own eyes and touched him with our own hands. He is the word of God." So now when we go into the New Testament, they had so much understanding after Yahawashi was teaching them of the old, and Paul, Now the elect is going to understand that Yahawashi is who the men of the Lord was speaking of. He was decoded in the scriptures in the Old Testament, not saying he was Yahawashi, his attribute, he redeems, he saves, right? The light, the truth, the law. He was every time when we was turning away, we was being rebellious. We were rebellious to the thought of Yahawashi, the beginning and the finisher of our faith, the beginning and the end of our life, because he's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, right? Beautiful, beautiful. Now, when you go back to John chapter 1, verse 14, and the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, and the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So the word we was just flowing with, bing, 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 teaching, and then the word became flesh. That's the beautiful point of you walking it and you seeing Yahweh Shai, and then physically we seen him 200, 2,000 years ago, you know. So now we're in America or wherever we scatter, we're trying to get back into this knowledge. The Lord is raising the tabernacles of David all over again, right? What is that? Amos 9:11. He's raising the tabernacles again, starting with the name and then trickling down, down, down to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, right? So we're just getting back into our basics. This is Revelations chapter 19, reading verse 13. It says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of God. Right. And when we look at the dipped in vesture, we go to Isaiah 63, right? Verse 1-6. You go to Genesis 49. Genesis 49 was prophesying about Judah, about the wine, but it was really talking about Yahawashi. You got to have the spiritual eyes to see, right? From verse 9 is all Judah, all the way verse 11 and 12. Let's read it. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp, verse 9. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Only the wicked, only Esau and these nations and the wicked Jake is going to rouse this lion up. That's why Judah represents the lion, Salaki. The sceptre means authority, and what they said in Luke, you're an all-stern man. Why did they say in the other part of the gospel that he teach with authority? Because that's Yahawashi. It says, the scepter, the authority shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver between his feet, because Judah will be the lawgiver, until Shiloh come, which is Yahawashi, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be, right? So unto Judah shall the gathering of the people be, the rest of the 12 tribes, and through the Spirit, the gathering of the people towards Yahawashi, bidding his fowl unto the vine, and his ass coat unto the choice vine, and he washed his garment in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes, and his eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Really, because he stressed over Israel. And yes, he was a wine bibber. But when you see what we just read, Isaiah 63 fully gives you the depths in different angles, right? That's really talking about Yahawashi, right? Just reading the first two verses, maybe three, Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness might be mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden a winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment, and I will slain all my raiment. This is Yahawashi, man. God's vengeance on the nation. This is Yahawashi and the angels that come with him. They're going to put vengeance on the nations, man. Right? We are the product of Yahawashi. Right? Again, Revelations 19:13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of God. That's Yahawashi, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. You know. Now let's get this side precept again. Let's go to St. John, the 17th chapter. Let's go to the fifth verse. St. John chapter 17, verse 5. It says, start at 3. It says, and this is the life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true God, and Yahawashi Mashiach, whom thou hast sent. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thy own self, and with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. Right? This is Yahawashi asking for the glory that he had before the world was even established. Right? And this is why we should be just like Yahawashi, desiring the wisdom we had before the Lord brought us in this dumb place. You know, that's why you want to desire your first estate, right? Let me get this side one. This is First John chapter 1, verse 2. It says, for the life was manifested, and we have seen it, and bear witness, and show unto you that eternal life which was with the Father and was manifested unto us. Everlasting life was with the Father, because that everlasting is Yahawashi. That's why Yahawashi said, I am everlasting. If you abide in Yahawashi, you're abiding in everlasting. When you're walking in this truth, you must endure, because Yahawashi is everlasting. So everlasting, you should you should be in this thing until everlasting, serving the Lord in everlasting. Right? Let's get one more in First John, but let's go to the 5th chapter, and I'm gonna read verse 20. It says, and we know that the Son of God is come and have given us an understanding, that we may know him that is true, and we are in him that is true, even in his Son Yahawashi Mashiach. This is the true God in eternal life. Yahawashi is the true God, and Yahweh is the Ancient of Days. He is a God. Yahawashi created all of us. Yahawashi established this ministry, and the ones that he put in this ministry to be the elect men and women, right? He's seen that you were faithful. In the Lord, Yahweh already analyzed it. Because if he made Yahawashi, all of this was in Yahweh's head. Everything we do is in Yahweh's head. And we're living out what Yahawashi created us to do, which is the format of Yahweh. You know, Yahawashi has the blueprint of how we supposed to move in this thing. And we supposed to move towards him, because the Lord created him to be the mediator for us. You know, that's why Yahawashi had to be the word, because the word is in between Yahweh, you know, because the Lord does nothing. So the Lord puts something in between him so that we can have uh, um, something to look towards, right? To get to the Lord created Yahawashi for us to look towards him. Just the same as the woman, in order to look towards Yahawashi, you look towards your man. You get it? So for us as men to look towards Yahweh, we must go through his son, the establishment, which is the foundation. You get it? Right? So let's go back. Let's get some more. Let's go back to John 1. Well, we can just only go to verse. Maybe we should go to only verse 5, should we? Yeah, let's just do. Yeah, we'll just do only 1 all the way to 5. Okay. So John chapter 1 verse 2. The same was in the beginning with God. So the same one that is the word. And we already showed that Yahawashi is the wisdom that was with Yahweh when he made everything. Because Yahawashi is the one that made everything. But it's Yahawashi is playing out what's in Yahweh's mind. So technically, that's the Lord's doing, right? Because all of this was in his head. I just got to keep saying that so that you can't leave saying, no, no, no. That's how it is, right? Verse 3. All things were made by him, the word, Yahawashi, and without him was not anything made that was made. So if the Lord didn't create Yahawashi, Yahawashi would have never made everything that the Lord wanted him to make. So we got to be thankful Yahweh made Yahawashi so Yahawashi can make everything. All things were made by him, right? And technically, through Yahawashi, all things was made by Yahweh, because Yahweh made Yahawashi fulfill his father's purpose. That's why Yahawashi said he came to fulfill the purpose of him that sent him. That's why Yahawashi never did what he wanted to do. He did what Yahweh wanted him to do. So let's get, for the precepts for verse 3, let's go to Psalms 33. This is Psalms 33, verse 6. It says, by the word of Yahweh were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth. So all the other angels, all the other powers, Yahawashi made by the breath of his mouth. Gabriel, Michelangelo, in the 12 tribes. But when you think about it, the children of Israel, the elect on this side, are over the angels, because the angels call us their fellow servants. So the angels serve us. We're next after Yahawashi, because just like Yahawashi, he had to come down and then get his glory. The angels, they only come down as messengers. They didn't get to do what Yahawashi or us got to do, because the Lord chose us out of the other angels, like Yahawashi, to come down here, man, to come in this flesh, right? So we are like Yahawashi, nowhere near in power, but everything we do, starting with the men, is reflected towards Yahawashi. All praises to Yahweh, right, for letting us get back into this knowledge to be like, wow, that's fire. That's why he says we're not of earth. We're not of this place. We are of heaven. That's why when you get in these scriptures, you tap them back in, right? This Ephesians 3 and 9. I'll start at 8. It says, unto me, who am less than the least of all saints, is this grace given that I shall preach among the Gentiles the unsearchable riches of Hamashiach? What is the unsearchable riches? What we're reading in First John, what we read in Colossians chapter 1, what we read in Genesis 1, what we read in First John, right? It says, and to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the word have been hid in God, because Yahawashi was in the Lord, and the Lord created him, right? Who created all things by Yahawashi HaMashiach. Yahawashi was in the Lord created him, and now Yahawashi is a living spirit vessel, and he created everything that the Lord wants, you know. And if Yahawashi was a part of the Lord, and then the Lord eventually created him, Yahawashi knows what the Lord wants. He knows what pleases him. He knows what attracts him. That's why when we go back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 22, because it says the praise of wisdom. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtile, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the things that is good, quick, which cannot be lettered, ready to do good, kind to man, stand fast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understanding, pure and most subtile spirits. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of God and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore, see, so wisdom flew through the Almighty through Yahawashi. Wisdom as a bliss thing, a bliss kiss or a humane kiss. That's why we says you give a Hebrew kiss is the Yahawashi Yahawashi. Wisdom is like a humane kiss. It touched, it goes wherever it went. As a word, wisdom is a woman, but in the flesh, it's Yahawashi. It's the word, right? People get mixed up. If Yahawashi is a man, then why would he call it a woman? You niggas don't get it. The word of mouth is the woman. What attracts a woman? Your words, your smooth words. You know, Terrence, it means smooth, right? Your words should be smooth off your lips and hit her gentle ears. Yahawashi is wisdom. It's smooth. It hits you. It's gentle. Why do you think the Lord considers wisdom when we go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8 verse 1? I loved her and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. Solomon, he asked for wisdom and understanding because to a man, we are attracted to that woman, and wisdom is soft. You know, on the left hand side, wisdom stab you and is aggressive. Wisdom is pure. Wisdom is the wisdom of the Lord is right. That's why it's not going to smack you and go back and forth and argue, because there's only one truth, you know. So again, verse 26, and she is the brightness of the everlasting light. So that's to show you wisdom is Yahawashi, because who is everlasting? Yahawashi. Who is the light? Yahawashi. So for she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of God in the image of his goodness. We just went to Colossians. Let me get it over here on my handy dandy phone. Colossians chapter 1, verse 17. It says, no, it's not what I want. Verse 15. Who is the image of the visible God, the firstborn of every creature? In the NLT, Hamashiach is the invisible image of the visible God. He exists before anything was created and is supreme over all creations, not over Yahweh, because Yahweh had to get created. Yahweh didn't. Yahweh is Lord over all creatures, and he is the image of Yahweh, right? And it says in Wisdom of Solomon 7, verse 26, the unspotted mirror of the power of God and the image of his goodness, right? So Yahweh is the mirror of the power of God. So he's the reflection of Yahweh, and he is the image of his goodness. You know, so when you looking at Yahawashi, you looking at the Father. You know, the anger, the power that Yahawashi coming is double hyphen what Yahweh is, but Yahawashi is the power of the Lord. Yahawashi is the weapon of the Lord. You know, get it? Verse 27, and being but one, she can do all things and remain in herself. She maketh all things new. And in all ages entering into holy souls, she maketh them friends of God and prophets. Wasn't Abraham a friend? Because Yahushua created Abraham to be that friend, right? And it says, and a prophet, for God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. That's why men become friends or prophets in this thing. And if you're not a prophet, but you're like a teacher that teach your wife and your kids, you are the friend of the Lord. And the ones that's evangelists, apostles, prophets, deacons, like the elders, they became prophets. And that wisdom was Yahawashi that made you a prophet, that made you a friend of the Lord. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. I hope you guys got that, right? Again, Colossians chapter 1, verse 16 to go with St. John 1 and 3. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. right? Because that's being the firstborn. That's you. And Yahawashi, um, he made all these things for it. The Lord said that make whatever you want to make for your pleasure. Basically, if it pleased the Most High, and all those things that Yahawashi made, it pleased the Lord. So read in verse 3 again, just for the brothers and sisters. It says all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. So if Yahawashi didn't make it, we wouldn't have it, right? Let me get one more for this, and then I'm gonna just stop with that. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2. It says, have in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. Right? So how do you think you get in this truth? How do you think you really learn it in this truth? Now, there's only one way we're gonna learn is if Yahawashi bring us in this thing. And second, through the spirit, if a brother is moving in the Rakak Wadash, it's Yahawashi teaching you. Because that Rakak Wadash is of Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi. Right? So this is my motivation precept. This is First Timothy chapter 1, verse 12. And I thank Hamashiach Yahawashi, our Lord, who have enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry. Not Yahweh, but yes, Yahweh will draw you to his Son. And Yahawashi is the one that will enable you in the ministry. So even if you is a 2/3, the Lord try to draw you to his Son in different ways. You didn't listen because your heart wasn't enabled. Because Yahawashi knows the Lord, the flock that's his. St. John 17:9. He prayed for those that the Most High have given him. Let me get that. St. John 17:9. You got to get that, because we're seeing that he enables the ones that are faithful. But St. John 17:9, I pray for them, I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. So the Lord, many were called and drawn to Yahawashi, but only a few was chosen to be of that number, right? And the ones that's chosen were faithful in heart, because Jeremiah 17:10, that's Yahawashi searching the heart, trying to reign and giving every man according to his ways. Because when we go to Revelations, the last chapter 22, verse 12, this is in red letter, and this is Yahawashi. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be. And I am the Alpha, which is the beginning, and Omega, which is the end, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. He's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, which is Yahawashi. He's the beginning of our faith, the end of our faith, the finisher of our faith. He's the beginning of life, and he is the end of life, because he brings victory towards the elect. And if he's giving you victory over death, no more sin. All praise to Yahawashi Yahawashi, right? So I know y'all got that. So let's go back to John. Let's go back to St. John, the first chapter, and let's read verse 4, since y'all got that. So this St. John chapter 1, verse 4. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. He in him was life, and the life was the light of men. So let's try to dissect this, as soon as possible. Right? This is First John chapter 5, and we're going to read the 11th verse. Right? And this is what it says. It says, and this is the record that the Most High have given to us eternal life. And this life is in his Son. And he have the Son, and he that have the Son have life. And he that have not the Son of God have not life. So how can you have the Son? St. John 15 should be your favorite verse 1 to 6. How do you have the Son? When you abide in him. You have to abide in him. Actually, let's go to that so we can find out what abide means. Because that's the key, to abide in Yahawashi. You know, let's see what abide means. Right? Let me see. Let's see it. St. John chapter 15, verse 5. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I am him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. So let's just look at the etymology for the word abideth, right? But it's going to automatically go into the word abide, right? So abide, mano, abide. This is the Strong's translation. Remain, dwell, continue, tarry, endure, right? The biblical usage, to remain, abide, in reference to place, to sojourn, tarry, not to depart, to continue, to be present, to be held, kept continually, in reference to time, to continue to be, not to perish, to last, endure, of persons, to survive, live, in reference to state or condition, to remain as one, not to become another or different, to wait for or await one, right? You got the Strong's definition: in a given place, state, relation, abide, continue, dwell, endure, be present, remain, stand, tarry, for thy own, right? And they just giving it abide, continue in it. So to abide in Yahawashi is to continue in the faith, continue in the walk, continue in the ministry, dwell in his ministry, endure in his ministry, be present in his ministry. That right there kills any nigga that want to be on the bench, because he wants to be present, remain, stand, tarry, thy own, right? So you want to continue, you want to endure. That's what it means to abide in the Lord, right? That's beautiful. Go to let's go to St. John, the 8th chapter. Let's read St. John, the 8th chapter, verse 12. It says, Then spake Yahawashi again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world, and he that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Right? So we live in, what he said? He said, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness. This is going into the same one that we just read. So if Yahawashi is the light, let's just get it. St. John 14:6. Yahawashi saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So we should be living the way that the Lord wants us to move. Mark 3:35. Whoever do the will of my Father is my brother and sister. That's the way of Hamashiach, doing the will of his Father. Yahawashi said it wasn't for me to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. Yahawashi is the truth. What is the truth? The word coming in the whole volume of the Bible, not contradicting it, right? Because the Spirit will hit any man and have him go a little deeper. The Spirit will have you examining yourself, which Paul examined himself. It's sometimes where he spoke with a type of human wisdom, right? That's why we see a lot of words which can be in black. We have some which is from the Lord, right? And it says, and the life. Life is what you living, And if we're living in the Lord, you're rehearsing the righteous acts. You're walking in the law, right? But you have that righteousness of faith. Everything in your mind is of faith base for Yahawashi Yahawashi. Because you can't come to the Father unless you believe in the way of Yahawashi, the truth of Yahawashi, in the life of Yahawashi, of how he lived for the Lord. You understand? Do you get it? Right? Let's go to St. John, the 9th chapter, and let's go to verse 4. Where the verse is really 5, but verse 4 is hitting it too. It says, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. Really, on a deeper aspect, that night is when the feminine word comes. That night is in Jacob's trouble. The men of the Lord are not going to be on the highways and byways. The elect is solidified. You know, that's why while the light is out, which is this truth, you know, when the men of the Lord is not on the corner, the light is gone out the street. And that's why the left-hand side is going to rise up and be more powerful to consume the 2/3. We are the daytime. Even if it's nighttime, we are the light of that day, right? Verse 5. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. That's why the 144,000, Revelations 14, they speak with no guile, right? Because they obtain Yahawashi in themselves. They're not speaking a lie. That's why I look at the elder men of Great Millstone and down, who's moving in sincerity, the real true teachers in Great Millstone. I feel that those is the men of the Lord, and I'm through the Spirit is being a reflection of them, because the elders down, the true brothers in there, are being a reflection of Hamashiach Yahawashi. And if you being a reflection of Yahawashi, you are the light, because Yahawashi is using you to light the pathway. You know, every time we abide in the Lord, we see what it says to continue, to endure, to stay. The more that we continue to walk in the light of Yahawashi, we're like Tinkerbell, we're glowing, we're Bruce Leroy, where Yahawashi is lighting in us, because we abide in him and he abides in us. So Yahawashi is in me, but Lord willing, he continue to see me being faithful. You understand? Right? So let's go to this last precept for this verse, St. John chapter 12, and we're going to read verse 46. St. John chapter 12, verse 46. I'm going to start at 45. It says, and he that seeth me, seeth him that sent me. I am come a light unto the world, that whosoever believeth on me shall not abide in darkness. And if you believe in Yahawashi, you believe in the Father. Because in order for you to believe in the Father, you must believe in the Son. Because that's his dear son that he loved. And he told Moses to tell them, I'm going to bring somebody that's like Moses that you shall listen to. And it's only one that has that same light as Moses. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 1. You know, they're shining because of that wisdom, you know. So we got that. Let's go back to John chapter 1 and let's read the closing verse. Of this chapter. We might have precepts. I'm gonna probably just bring out one for this one. So verse 5, it says, the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended night. What is the darkness? It's the world that keeps moving. Like why I'm teaching this and the elders and the brothers is teaching, whatever they doing, you have to know darkness is moving fluently. Revelation 12 and 12. The devil has a short period of time. So you best believe the left-hand side, they cannot stop. Even the righteous on this side, we not stopping either, because there's brothers in other cities where the time is different. Then you got brothers in the outskirts of countries that know that they're Israelites, and they're working too. The Lord got the righteous and the unrighteous spirit working. Best believe the spirit that's in us, which we make up the flesh vessels, That righteous spirit that's talking to the righteous man and ministering to them is causing us to teach. It's causing us to be the light, because the right hand side angels know the left hand side is working. So the right hand side got the right hand side men on earth working, just like the left hand side angels got the left hand side working for the Lord in the Israelites and in the nations. We're just working, you know, but they're working because they got a short period of time and they moving in haste. We moving with the light because we already, the elect that's working for the Lord knows who the elect is. So they just feeding the elect each and every day, man. Right? So let me get this for you, this closing out precept. St. John chapter 3, verse 19. St. John chapter 3, verse 19, and it reads, I'll start at verse 18. It says, and he that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already. So if you don't believe in Yahawashi, you're already condemned, right? Today, now, if you already don't believe in Yahawashi, in some cases, it might be hard for you to come in this. That's why it do be brothers that come in this thing, and they probably was atheists. If you didn't come in this thing in the beginning time or before, and that light hit you and you stayed in it and grew, then the Lord is changing you. But if you keep having problems on coming to the men of the Lord, being on fire, then you're not on fire, then being on fire, he that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And when you go to Revelations 19, people don't believe in the name of Yahawashi as in his position, right? Revelation 19, he has a position that nobody knows. When it says he has a name that nobody knows, that's not talking about his name Yahawashi, it's talking about his position. So it's a lot of children in Israel that's not believers. They don't believe in Yahawashi's position that he created all things. They don't believe that the Lord made all things through his son. They don't believe in Yahawashi's position, that everything is under him. You know, the shit, they believe that the angels went against Yahweh. And if the angels went against Yahweh, you basically saying the angels went through Yahawashi. They just beat Yahawashi up and then went to the throne of Yahweh and took his glory. That's what you saying, right? But you don't know that you're saying, but that's what it means. Because if Yahawashi is the creator of all things, Yahawashi created these dumb angels, and the dumb angels went against him, beat his ass, and then went to go take the Lord's glory. Wrong, right? It's just the left-hand side was created to go to go against the right-hand side under the heavens, not where the Lord is at. They going against each other under the heavens in this earth. This is a game field, you know. This is where flesh is down here, and you got to know the left-hand side is against the right-hand side. That's Sirach chapter 33, verse 13 to 15, or 13 to 14, or 14 to 15, right? So verse 19, which is the point, St. John 3:19, and this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. And what is darkness? Is when we go to First John, you know, don't love the world. St. John, what, 15, verse 18, 19? You know, the world hated you. If it hated me first, you got to know that it hates you too. You know, darkness is the world. Darkness is unrighteousness. Darkness is not the truth. You know, and people, they'll bring up, man, even the demons knew Yahawashi. That shows you darkness, the left-hand side, knows the righteous. Then don't they even say that even the devil comes as light, come as a light bearer, right? Because the left-hand side the left-hand side are wearing white robes, and then in the flesh they can be your pastor, you know, it can be your leader in the congregation, And he can come like light, as in what is the light? The Hebrew Israelites. That man can come like the light and deceive you, you know. So that's why, what do brothers say? Be circumspect. What is circumspect? Being caution, you know. You got to be caution who you let close to your temple. Be caution who you allow to teach you, you know. So Lord willing, this is edifying. Again, we was going into John the first chapter just because, you know, the elders, they was getting in there, you know, and the bishop, you know. I was gonna try to go somewhere else, but it's like I haven't, you know what, let me get into John chapter 1, right? So the deity of Hamashiach Yahawashi is to show you that he was the beginning of the word. So what we read in Genesis 1, just know that that's Yahawashi. But other than that, Lord willing, this is edifying, and Lord willing, we can continue just like we did with Hebrews and Romans. Lord willing, we can continue to go through this because this is important. So with that, I want to say, Kwam Yasharella, Shalom, Shalom to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, you can continue to put your feet on the gas. And with that, Shalom, Shalom, Yahweh speed.